Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build some model kits and hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 blue emote. The emote just for Tier 2 subscribers and Tier 3 subscribers, I guess. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you're not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you wanted to be a lurker, you could do that. You could just hang out and not say anything and not type in the chat and just enjoy the stream. You could do that if you wanted to. It's a Monday, the general sense, and of course I'll interrupt myself as I'm talking here in the intro portion of the stream. As people start typing things into chat, either saying hi or using emotes, I will respond to them because it's the intro and it's nice to see you, like the Arctic Sloth. Welcome, the Arctic Sloth. Thanks for being here. Throw one of the emotes in the chat. But yeah, tonight's agenda. Well, it's Manga Monday, and I got a manga series that I finished, a rare one. Lord Crashington says, hey Pat, it sure is a Monday. Indeed, it is. But yeah, I'm going to talk about a manga that is complete, and I have read every chapter. Usually, I've read like 11 chapters or 10 chapters of a manga, 10 or 11. Or Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Or I've read like 20 chapters of a manhwa because the manhwa pacing is so different than manga. You gotta give it more time before it really gets going. Mr. Bob is here throwing in a bunch of emotes. Welcome, Mr. Bob. Hello, hello. So I got that some manga. I got some anime. I have stopped watching a couple things, and I am watching other things now. The interpretation of the strongest exorcist is just not a character that I enjoy. I don't enjoy the characterization of the main character. Characterization of our lead, I should say. So I don't say character a bunch in the same sentence. Not a big fan of that, so I let that go. I'm trying out Chillin in my 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army. Chillin, no G on Chillin. Chillin in my 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army. A manga I have read but don't keep up on that I might like the anime of. I don't know. I watched the first episode. And of course, keeping up on Handyman, Saitou in Another World, which is because it's such short little snippets, it's a weird thing to kind of like, hey, here's what happened in this episode. So I think if I did it, it wasn't that I don't have enough to watch on, because I think even Chillin' in My 30s is a Saturday show. I just don't have a lot to watch on Sundays and Mondays. So I'm kind of looking for something else to fit in there. I did not watch Kubo Won't Let Me Be Invisible. I do need to check that out. I'm looking to maybe get into that. Because I don't know if I need a third romantic comedy show in my life, but it seems pretty good. Anyway, so talk about some anime, talk about some manga. I watched a wrestling show last night that happened happened early that morning. So I was able to watch that last night with some friends, and that was really fun. A Pro Wrestling Noah show. The Great Muda's final match, and the pay-per-view kind of like built around it. Called Final Bye-Bye. Great Muda, Final Bye-Bye. And we won't really talk too much about the matches, but every match on the card had a silly title for it, and I want to talk about those because they were all very good. We're going to talk about some cooking tonight because my folks are, if you missed Saturday's stream, I'm currently here in the bonus room, aka the Carolina room. That's what they call it down here. I'm in the bonus room. I set up in here so that I'm not in my bedroom because my folks are out of town for 6 weeks. And while they're out of town, I'm doing all the cooking myself, which of course I am. But doing all the cooking myself in order to keep like a record of it so I can look and go, okay, so 3 days ago I had pork. Okay, I couldn't really remember. I have started taking photographs of cooking stuff, and so we'll just kind of briefly talk about that. We'll go through the 4 days that I've cooked for myself and what I'm getting into on that. Is there anything else that we'll talk about? I don't know. Maybe I'm sure there are other things that will come up in conversation as we start going through some things and things. I'm going to retweet my tweet. We'll get into the finishing up the Rising Gundam, which is unfortunately going to involve a lot of stickers for the shoulders. We'll get into that now. So we'll go to the overhead. And I can tell you that I have solved a problem that I had with this setup. Recently, this kit along with a mat were sent to me off my Amazon wish list. Thank you to whoever sent that. I wasn't sure what I was going to do about this whole mat situation. Thangin' and banging. Yes, Lord Crashington. Harold's here. What's up, Harold? Happy to have you here. I wasn't sure what I was going to do with the mat because the mat on this table kept sliding around. Well, I have solved the problem. There he is. Hey, look. I got myself a towel. It's actually a washcloth. I just grabbed the washcloth out of the closet, threw it on there. Problem fucking solved. This does not slide. Me putting my arm on here does not send it forward. If I put a lot of pressure on it, I can scoot it. And it's not so thick that it won't be a problem. I might be able to get away with like a paper towel, which would be thinner. I'm going to experiment with that. But like, it dawned on me yesterday that I was like, oh, I should just put a fucking towel down and then this won't move around. Like I said, it is a little thick, so I'm going to try out with like a paper towel or something. I tried tape, but the tape wasn't abrasive enough to not slide on the table. So, quick little fix, easy enough, no problems, no fuss, no muss. I should put it with there. Lord Crashington suggests might be able to get a thin rubber mat to put on there. Yes. If you get a thicker mat, like some people have the play mats for like Magic the Gathering or other tabletop games of that nature. Some people do that and the bottom is rubberized. But those are often pretty thick, and I don't want that, so I probably could get a very thin rubber mat. But right now, this is working out. Like I said, I'm going to experiment with paper towel because that might be even better because it will be thinner. Ironhide the Fourth is here with a joke, as is their way, saying, I sued the airlines for misplacing my luggage. I lost the case. Ba-dum-ba-cha. Thank you, Ironhide the Fourth. So what are we working on now? Well, we started this on Saturday, but yes, thank you. Lord Crashing wants me to hit the dance button. I will hit the dance button while I explain what we're working on here. Oh, yeah. So we've got the Rising Gundam, which does have the core unit here, the core lander, that floats up and becomes the backpack. We've got our chest, our head, our legs here. The arms are done, but we got to do the shoulders. We can't we could just pop these on, but we got to do the shoulders here. Also, I did the weapons. I really like that this kit, the place that it holds the gun isn't like on the back of it. It holds the gun like on the opposite side of where it holds the shield or the other weapon. I think that's neat. I thought we were going to see a bear dance. No, Ironhide. I just move a little bit. I don't dance like a bear. I just dance. And I'm Pat Bear. Anyway, so we're going to keep working on this kit. We do have a bunch of, unfortunately, we do have a bunch of stickers to put on this thing. So we're going to get going on that. Let's get these shoulders here. These shoulders are 54, 56. Okay. 54, 56 is this sticker here. All right, yeah. So we got to put the shoulders together. We'll do that. And then we've got to put some stickers on here, and we'll do that too. We got the top shoulders and the bottom shoulders. So we'll do each of them like that. Just snap them out, nice and easy. Iron Knight Forces asks, this kit is very old, right? Yes, this kit was released in 1994. It is a 144 scale non-grade. It is not a high grade. The high grades that came out for G Gundam were the 1/100 scale. And then the master grades were the 1/100 scale, as is tradition, as is their way. But yeah, these kits, oh, that's what it is. Put that on there instead. Oh, now I get it. Okay. Well, I'm not going to do that. If I wanted to have the weapon on the back here, I would use the other color lander instead of the pure red. I would pop that out. I don't want to do that because I don't want gray on the back of this. I think the red is better on the back. Lots of weird dimensions here. Yes. This kit is around the same age as me. Okay, yeah. I mean, 1994. This This is like before I have watched this show. This is before I know about Gundam in 1994. I'm familiar with Gundam. I'm not like at the time a fan per se. I'm aware of it, but I haven't like gotten into it. Oh yeah, Mr. Bob. This is as a non-grade. There's not a lot of flourishes when it comes to this kind of kit. We're not getting a lot of like details. You know, there were polycaps, but there weren't like the hands are polycaps. Like that's telling you a lot about this kind of kit. Is that the hands are polycaps? Yeah. So I could make the lander with a different color there, but I'm not going to worry about that. So we'll get these attached here. But yeah, this is a very bare bones. This is an introduction to model kits. There were polycaps. The hands are polycaps here. You can see the connection there are polycaps. The arms. So it is in tradition with a high grade. It's just like, it's just not a high grade. They didn't want to classify that as one. It's a non-graded kit. And there are like the Rising Gundam. There are plenty of G Gundam kits that did not see the 1/100 scale high grade or the 1/100 scale master grade. The master grade, there's only like 4 master grades. High grades, there were more kits that had that. Yeah, I think there are only 4 master grades. Shining, God, Shining God, Master, and Spiegel were the only master grades. And then the high grades, there were more, like the main Shuffle Alliance all had that. And the, let's get some stickers on here. We'll do stickers, and then we'll panel line over that, because we'll just save ourselves some time here. Lots of color correcting stickers on this. If you didn't think there would be color correcting stickers on this, I don't know why you didn't think there'd be. This Gundam is just a flesh wound phase right now. Yes, just a flesh wound indeed. But yeah, a lot of color correcting stickers on this because, of course, it's got a lot of the same parts as, because it's the Rising Gundam, it's the sister Gundam to the Shining Gundam, so it has a lot in common. There is no sister Gundam to the God Gundam. Officially, there is the unofficial Blazing Gundam. Now, the Blazing Gundam only exists in okay, so how does this work? The Blazing Gundam only exists in Gundam Breaker Battlelog as a what if. It is a what if kit. Like, what if there was a sister kit to the God Gundam? So they call it the Blazing Gundam because in English, in the English dub, it is the Burning Gundam, not the God Gundam. And the Devil Gundam is the Dark Gundam. Also, there is a Dark Gundam. The only Dark Gundam kit is a non-grade, and it is still cool because it is still a kit. It's still a mobile suit sticking out of the top of a big mobile suit head. So it is still cool. It is just not good. It's not a good kit. And the box art has it colored differently. There are color correcting stickers for that kit, and then it's still wrong, which is frustrating. Like they didn't do the fingers, I should say, of the hands, because its legs look like hands. It's bad. It's weird and great. It's weird and great, and I love it. All right, so let's get this lined up here. Our color correcting stickers for the parts of the shoulders we might not even see, because there are shoulder pieces that go over it. Gotta pull this back and do it right. But anyway, Rising Gundam here. We are building this. Now, could there be a Rising Gundam high grade in the future? It's possible. As I said, the Blazing Gundam came out, and that was some parts of the Shining Gundam with some new parts added to it. So you could make a Rising Gundam out of the Blazing Gundam. You could modify that to make it this kit. You'd have to do, the weapons would have to be new or from another kit. So it is possible you could do that. Would they ever make a Rising Gundam high grade? Even as a premium Bandai kit, I don't know, because it depends on how difficult that is to do. Now, they made all of the Rider kits. They made the Pale Rider, they made the White Rider and the Black Rider and the Red Rider. And those are from a video game that came out a while ago. And it's not like it was a super popular game. It was a fairly popular game, but it's not like it was like killing it. So the fact that they made that it certainly could lend the idea that they would make a kit for a mobile suit, a Gundam, specifically a Gundam, that only appears in 2 episodes. Originally, I said it appeared in only 1 episode, and I was wrong. The Rising Gundam appears in a cliffhanger at the end of an episode. So it is technically in 2 episodes, although it is only in 1 episode briefly, and then you get the payoff of, what's this new Gundam we've never seen before? Wait, is Rain piloting a Gundam? That's cool. And then you get the explanation of what the fuck's happening in the next episode. So it was in technically 2 episodes. It's technicality. Anyway. I have been doing a lot of cooking for myself. Now, back in the day, in the before times, when I lived with a roommate, I would do all the cooking for myself anyway. But let's be real. I didn't cook every night because I was working. And I would often work from like 5:30 or 5 p.m. till like midnight or 1 a.m., depending on the night. My shifts kind of change depending on the evening. So not every night of the week, but most nights of the week, I would get takeout for dinner. I would get delivery for something because I would do cooking prep, certainly, but there'd go for phases where I just didn't want to do that, and I'd rather have something hot and brought to me. It helped out that my the theater I worked in last had a microwave, so I brought a lot of meals with me when I was working there, or I would bring like a salad with a meat and all that, like a good big salad, and have that, depending on the day of the week and what I had in my fridge. But now I'm cooking all my meals, and I have been keeping track of that on Twitter. I will probably do a roundup like every week or something, like every 7 days. I'll do a roundup on co-host, just so that I'm not like posting that every day in 2 different places, the same things. But I haven't like fully decided yet. Okay, so I guess these just slip on top and clip on there. Okay, yeah. So you can do the small shoulder or the big shoulder, depending. And these just pop on and off. So these stickers could totally just be completely like covered, which is weird, but true. All right, so let's get some stickers on here. We got these stickers on this. They need to go there. We've got longer stickers and shorter stickers. We'll do the shorter stickers first. But they're all the same, so it shouldn't be hard to get this go. But we'll get the other one. But yeah, so I've been doing some cooking. I have to look up. I want to look up all that there. Yeah, I'll go through the day 1, which was on the 20th. That was the first day of me just being in charge of all my meals and documenting them. I made a pan-fried chicken and tater tots and a salad. Pan-fried chicken is my favorite way to make chicken, for one, because it is fast and juicy, and you don't have to go through the process of doing breading because you are dredging in flour. But basically, because you're just doing it by yourself, you want thin breast pounded, so thin tenders or whatever you're getting here, your chicken breast. You want those to be nice and thin because you are cooking them pretty fast. So make sure they're thin. Pat them dry out of whatever you've got them from, and then you were going to take those chicken breasts, chicken pieces, and you were going to dredge them in a flour mixture. And it's not just all-purpose flour, right? It's not just all-purpose flour. You've added some stuff to that flour. You've added some salt and pepper and seasoning of some sort that you want. In my case, it's paprika, because I think paprika fried in oil tastes very good and adds a lot of flavor without being too hot. But you could put in chili powder or whatever you want to put in there. Put in your seasoning into that. Maybe you want to use Italian seasoning. I don't know. You could do that. You sage and oregano if you want to do that. But anyway, then you're going to get some neutral oil here, not olive oil, so something like canola oil or even maybe peanut oil, I guess, vegetable oil. Get that going in a pan, medium-high heat, probably closer to medium than medium-high. Get that going. When that's warm enough, you'll put the chicken into the pan. and then keep that on its side. Move them around a little bit so they don't stick to the pan for about 3 minutes, and then you're going to flip it over. Now, here's the trick. You want to add a little bit of the flour that you shook off on top before you flip it over, because in the process of being in the pan, the top of some of the flour has fallen away from the top of your chicken. And so when you do flip it over, you do need to wait a minute or so, or even 30 seconds, and then move it around so it doesn't stick to the pan. Because, yeah, you're not going to have as much flour on there, and your chicken is going to want to adhere to the frying pan very quickly, and it will be incredibly frustrating for you. So do that. Like I said, another about 3 minutes on that side, so I think you're about 6 total. Now, how does this look here? This looks like this. And then this is going to be, like that. Yes, got it. It's going to go like here. Goes like that. I should have kind of figured this out before I took it out, but whatever. We'll figure it out here. There we go. Like that. Okay. Stickers that have to bend. Not my favorite, friends. Definitely not my favorite, but whatever. It's not going to be perfect, but also this kit will never be perfect. So I'm not going to worry too much about it. What me say next? Oh, yeah. So you do that. That's how you do the pan-fried chicken. Very tasty. I had them with tater tots. Got a big frozen bag of tater tots. You'll hear that name again soon. So that was the first day. Second day. I've done this recipe before. I did a better job this time. I believe this is Adam Ragusia's recipe or Brian Langston's recipe. It might be Adam Ragusia's recipe. Stovetop mac and cheese. And I had some leftover ground beef from tacos from earlier in the week. So I had that as my protein. You could put chicken, you could put pork, you could put whatever you want in there, or no beef at all if you don't want any beef. I wanted to have some kind of protein. And the taco seasoning in the taco meat was really good. And I did a salad as well. Sazabi. I don't think this is, as far as I know, this is not the Rising that you purchased, because I believe this is when I put it back up on my wish list. Someone else purchased it the other day. I do not believe this is from when you purchased it a long time ago. I'm pretty sure that shipping got null, that order got null and voided. That is my belief. Mac and cheese with beef is a good combo. You're right. It totally is. I'm pretty sure. Sazabi, don't quote me on that. But this, because for a while there, this was not on my wish list, and then I put it back on it, and then it just arrived from somewhere in the United States, not from overseas, which I think is the issue with when you purchased it. That doesn't make sense because the one is listed as Sazabi. Right now, this kit has been purchased 2 times off my Amazon wish list, and I've only received one of them. It does make sense that it was shipped and lost in shipping somewhere and will never arrive. That's what happened to that kit that you purchased, which is a shame. But we kind of figured that out a while ago when you said that you had purchased it and that it never arrived, which sucks. Yeah, it just never arrived. I think it probably got lost in shipping coming from overseas. That is my belief anyway. Because when I re-added it to the wish list, it said 1 of 1. But I did get one, yes. So yeah, going back to what I was talking about here, I did make homemade stovetop mac and cheese. It turned out really good. I'm very pleased with that method. Have a good night, Harold. Thanks for stopping in for a bit. Happy to have you here for a little while. So that was really tasty. I finished up that mac and cheese. The elbow macaroni I had was actually a little larger than I would like. Next time I'm going to try to get smaller macaroni. Because it was close to the Kraft macaroni and cheese stovetop method that I appreciate and, kind of crave from my youth. But it wasn't, it was like the noodles ended up kind of big by the end of it. So, but that was very tasty. Yesterday, made for myself grilled pork chop with rosemary and oregano. So that is just seasoned with salt, pepper, rosemary, and oregano ahead of time, and then grilled on a grill pan. It is literally a Teflon pan with ridges embedded into the pan, and you get those grill marks. You get nice grill marks on there, and it approximates somewhat, at least it tries to approximate having an actual grill, and is a lot easier to do than getting a whole grill set up. I made two of them, and I will have another one probably tomorrow because I don't want it to be in my fridge for that long. But I cooked both of them because they were frozen together. Because I made the mistake of when I purchased them and put them in the freezer, I did not package them separately. I just put them in the freezer, which was my mistake. Shouldn't have done that. So I cooked both up. I had that with 2 small baked potatoes and some peas. All right, we're done with the stickers here. We got to do a little panel lining. Then we got to work on the weapons, and we'll take some photos of this kit, and then we'll call this kit done and move on to WarGreymon, the standard figurized kit of WarGreymon. But first, let's get some panel lining done here. And then tonight, my 4th day of doing all my food. Oh, I also included a photo here. I had a leftover tiny sponge cake in the freezer, which I let defrost. And I have some blackberries that I put on that, and a little bit of Ready Whip on top. And that was just a nice little dessert for one. I'm going to try to be careful on my desserts. I don't really have that much of a sweet tooth. But I had some blackberries left over. And I remember that sponge cake was in the freezer, little tiny individual sponge cake. So I made that as a bonus. And then tonight, my chopped steak sandwich with mixed veggies and tater tots on the side. Oh boy. Now, if you've ever had a chopped steak sandwich, it is similar. It is in the same family as a cheese steak. But you are getting middle to not particularly great steak. Excuse me. Getting your steak together here. You're going to chop it up like in the pan, nice and thin. In this case, I added shredded cheese right at the end, and basically as soon as it touched anything, that cheese melted because I shredded it very thin. But also diced onions and red peppers and mayo. And then put it on a nice long roll. And then here's the secret to a chopped cheese. A chopped cheese or a chopped steak if you don't want to put cheese on it. The thing you need to do, you got to do this, friends. You've got to do this. Please do this if you're going to make this kind of sandwich. Just like you would get it in a bodega, particularly a bodega, but any deli at all. You got to wrap it up. Grab some foil. Grab some parchment paper if that's all you got, whatever. You got to wrap it up, and then you got to let it sit for a little while. Not too long because you don't want it to get cold. You need all of that to congeal together because that's a proper chopped sandwich. Is all of the meat and the onions and the cheese and the mayo or salt and vinegar, whatever you put on there, mustard, whatever you're gonna put on there, and the veggies all congeal together so that when you start eating it, it doesn't fall apart and fall over the place and all the veggies start falling out of the sandwich. You gotta let it congeal. You gotta wrap that up. And also, it's easier to eat that sandwich because you cut it in half and you're holding the foil or paper or whatever. It's like a napkin right there for your hand there as you're eating your sandwich. Had that with tater tots and mixed vegetables because I got some frozen mixed vegetables going there. That was tonight. That was super stuffed. I am stuffed from that. I would describe that meal as filling as hell. It was real good. All right, so we're gonna put these things on. We're gonna probably take 2 photos here with the different options. We'll put we'll do the gun and the shield, and then we'll do the blade and the shield because that goes well together, and we'll do this with the cool shoulders. We'll do this with the I don't know what this is called. What you call this? It's like I think it's a grappling hook or yeah. A crossbow. It's a crossbow. I guess that's a crossbow. I don't know, but this kit has a crossbow on it. 55 and 62. This is 55. What's 62? Oh, there it is. Okay. We'll get this together here. So yeah, cooking for myself. Having a good time with that so far. We'll keep posting it on Twitter. I do this, like I said, to keep an eye for myself on like, oh, what am I doing out there? Like, what am I working on? What did I have the other day? So I don't really have to like remember if I don't want, if I forget, I can like look it up. Just stuff like that. It's nice. We'll panel line this here. But also I do it to have more routine in my life because I want to make sure that I keep some routine. Like oh, okay, well, sometime between 5 and 7, I'll have dinner and I'll post, I'll take a photo of the meal that I made and I'll post it on Twitter, and that just keeps me, not like an idea what day it is and not slipping and keeping my habits together because I am a creature of habit. I prefer that way. It helps me out. And also, I'm living alone right now. I did talk to some people online today in chatting and stuff like that. I was in a Slack I did some customer service today. But like, I don't know. I didn't really use my voice that much today. I recorded a video, the next Barely Rehearsed. I shot that tonight because in this room in here, no matter what I do, there's going to be more sunlight than I would like coming in. Like I can't avoid the sunlight. So I've made, so I can only really film at night. Which is fine. But I got some filming done. I mean, I wouldn't be able to film during the day anyway. But also, one thing that is nice about being by myself is I am not self-conscious about doing vocal warm-ups that involve singing. Or any vocal warm-ups, really, but especially singing vocal warm-ups. There's no like me being self-conscious about that because there's nobody here to hear me sing. I got to pop the hand off for this. But yeah. Here is one version of this kit, and then we'll build the shield here and do the other version, which is our last two pieces here. But let me get a photo going of the Rising Gundam. All right, photo here. There we go. Photo. Let me just do this. Photo number 1. Hell yeah. Now we can pop this off because we'll need to put a shield on there, put the hand back, pop the gun off, put our spear on, pop our shoulders on here. It is cool that they have, both these versions. We can do it either way. I mean, really what it's supposed to be is these are supposed to like open up some because you want to show off the cool parts, but you just take them on and off. That's fine. And we'll pop out the shield here. We'll also panel line the shield so we can take a good look at that. No stickers on this shield. I am surprised about that. I would have assumed there would be some stickers. This is all just one solid color, so of course we gotta put some black marker on there and make it look nice. But anyway, that is the food tour of your friend Pat, and a little update about what's going on with me. But a lot of it is just like, I don't know. I want to keep some sense of normalcy so I don't lose my dang mind. Okay, so late Saturday night / early Sunday morning, Sunday afternoon in Japan, there was a pay-per-view for Pro Wrestling Noah entitled Great Muta Final Bye-Bye. The Great Muta is retiring from professional wrestling. He had a solo match against Nakamura not too long ago. His last match as the Great Muta was yesterday. Now, you're saying to yourself, wait, Pat, I'm pretty sure that Kenji Muto has one more match, and it's going to be against Naito. And yes, there is one more pay-per-view. There is one more match. It is a cross-promotional thing with like a bunch of different companies, and it's cool as shit. But the thing you have to remember is, because this is wrestling, the man Keiji Muto and the wrestling persona, the Great Muta, are two different people. They're not. We know they're fucking not. But they are two different personalities because the Great Muta is the original ninja from hell. And Kenji Muto is just a man who wrestles. If you only know like 90s WWE stuff, basically Cactus Jack was a guy, Mankind was a character, Mick Foley is both of those. It's as if, what if Mick Foley did a show that was Mankind or Cactus Jack's last match or Dude Love's last match, and then also did Mick Foley's last match? It's carny bullshit, but it's beautiful. Anyway, this show was called, again, I must stress the name of it, Great Muta Final Bye-Bye, bye-bye. And every match had a weird title. And it was kind of cool as shit. And I'm not going to talk about like, oh, and then this happened in El Hijo del Wagner, Dr. Wagner Jr. did this. I'm not going to like go through all of that. But I will tell you the names of each match because they are cool as shit. Our first match was a tag team match. And the title, because it was the first match of the night, it was called Welcome to Bye-Bye. Welcome to Bye-Bye was fun. It was a fun opening contest. There's nothing really exciting to say about that. The second match was important in many ways. It was called Who is the Valkyrie? It was a tag match between Sayori Ano and Jungle Konya versus Sumari Natsu and Maya Yukihei. And I will tell you this now, friends. Pro Wrestling Noah has never had women wrestle on a Pro Wrestling Noah card. Now, Pro Wrestling Noah is owned by the same people that own DDT and that own Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. So there have been joint cards. This was not a joint card. This was a card that was purely 100% solely only Noah that had other people in. And all these ladies they were in Stardom and other promotions. They're all independent wrestlers. None of them are signed to anybody. Does this mean that Noah is going to have a women's division? It was separate than having Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling on. They're going to be on the card for the final Muta match, which is rad. It was weird. It's important. Also, Jungle Konya has been injured for a while and fucking rules. So it was also kick-ass cool wrestling ladies doing a fucking hard-hitting match. They beat the shit out of each other, which you kind of needed to do that because it is a first, and so you got to like be rad about it. It was cool as hell. All respect to them. Sarari and Jungle are the Valkyries. It was cool. The third match on the card was Timothy Thatcher versus Masasaki Mochizuki, who is old. That's the other thing about Pro Wrestling Noah that you need to know about. If you take anything away from Pro Wrestling Noah, just understand that Pro Wrestling Noah loves old wrestlers. There were so many wrestlers, not just in the main event. There were so many wrestlers throughout the card who are in their fucking 50s. They just love old wrestlers in that promotion. Anyway, Best of the Iron Man was just like Timothy Thatcher, who is impressed a lot in Pro Wrestling Noah, wrestler turned trainer for WWE, and then was released, who is now doing his thing in Pro Wrestling Noah. It was a good showcase for him. Great. I am now done with this kit. This kit has been completed. I can just show you like that. There it is. The Rising Gundam is done. Long live the Rising Gundam. It's time. Oops. Yeah, hold on. Here. Sorry. Hold on. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. There we go. One other piece I got to put over there. it's time to start working on WarGreymon. And one of the coolest things about the WarGreymon kit that I just want to show you right now. Oh, I gotta do this part here. Sorry. Oop. The polycaps, Digimon, digital monsters. That's right, John. Also, hi, I'm John. The polycaps are this nice orange. I don't know. This is cool. I like that. I like when polycaps are not just gray. So we got our polycaps. We got to get in here. This kit is from the year 2021, so it is comparatively very recent compared to, of course, the kit we were working on there. We're going to find the first page of this instructions. We're starting with the head. We'll start with the head. Put that there. Over there. We will do panel lining. We'll do everything we need to do for this WarGreymon kit. I picked this up, I believe, in a New Year's sale from USA Gundam store. Picked that up there. 99% sure that is when I picked this up, but it was fairly recent. All right, we need A and C, so we'll get that in there. Okay, going back to this thing, we had a 6-man tag of some Noah folks, including some luchadors and some not luchadors, some rudos, and some Japanese wrestlers as well. The match was called This Is Anarchy Time. This Is Anarchy Time was the theme of the match, and it did end because Japan respects the Mexican wrestling rule that if you go to remove someone's mask, it's an automatic disqualification, which rules. That's an awesome rule. That rule rules that, hey, if you take someone's mask off and it's not a loser loses their mask, like immediate disqualification. Go fuck yourself. So that match did involve that, which is rude. Because Eita removed Alejandro's mask, and that's not cool. Then we had Wrestling Battle Cry, which was a 6-man tag. And I want to talk to you about this team of, I think they're supposed to be foreign heels, but I love them, so I don't know if they're supposed to be heels. Well, one of them is Japanese, but the other two guys are American and Scottish. Jake Lee, Jack Morris, and Anthony Green. Jake Lee is Japanese. They are a new tag team, or a new trios team that just formed recently. They are called Good Looking Guys. GLG is a tag team. Good Looking Guys. It's just a fun name, in my opinion. That is just a fun name for a group of dudes to just refer to themselves as that. Good Looking Guys took on some Good Looking Guys fought just a bunch of thick giant men. That is the best way I can describe the tag team they went up against. Just giant men, and defeated them, which is cool. We like that. Then we had a GHC Martial Arts Rules singles match. Sakabura versus Suzuki, Hideko Suzuki. And that was like submissions, or it was a technical knockout. The guy wouldn't submit and passed out. Very good thing about this match that was done like, MMA style. The guy got woken up and he immediately started attacking his opponent again because he didn't realize he had passed out and lost. And I thought that was a very cool touch. That he was just like, oh, you're wrestling. That's what we're doing, right? It's like, no, dude. Nah, you lost. I thought that was cool. To Rise Sky High was a 6-man tag match. Amakusa, Ninja Mac, who you may know from GCW and Independence here in the United States, who's working at Pro Wrestling Noah, and people are fucking putting him over. Ninja Mac does fucking cool ninja shit. Is Ninja Mac a white guy from the United States? Yes. Is it weird that he bows in Japan and it was less weird when he did it in America? Yeah. You know what? They hired him, so I don't know. I can only feel so weird about Ninja Mac, but I do feel weird about Ninja Mac. Anyway, they tagged with Ultimo fucking Dragon. That's right. Ultimo Dragon was in a 6-person match. Was Sonny Ono there as well? Yes. Did Sonny Ono still have a disposable camera that he took selfies with? Yes, indeed. That man is still playing his fucking gimmick. Did Sonny Ono give some karate chops to people? 100% yes, he did. And the crowd was fucking psyched about it. They were just like, hell yeah. Now, Dante Leon is I believe he's a Canadian wrestler, maybe American. Sorry, I don't remember. He's been not too long over there. He's like got a wild child persona. He's off. He's a little emo. He trioed with Yohei and Kizi Y. I must stress that Kizi Y and Yohei have only been a tag team for a little while. One raps to the ring, and then they both dance. So even when they were the junior heavyweight tag champions, they still went out first because they have to sing and dance on the stage. And then they somewhat taught Dante Leon how to dance, their cool dance. It's very fun. They are heels apparently, but the crowd is just like, nah, we like these guys. What are we going to boo these guys for? So that was good. But Dante is a heel. The semi-main event was an 8-man tag that featured many old men. There is a stable of the baddies in Pro Wrestling Noah. The stable of baddies is Konga with a K. And their leader is Keno. And he's got this fucking incredible gear. They all dress in red. He's got this unbelievably, ridiculously cool gear that on his shoulders are basically like lions. And it's fucking rad, and you gotta like look that shit up. It's real good. And so his team of giant men and like one silly guy and one very old man who could still go took on everyone that, because it was a champions night, 8-man tag. The other 4 people are all champions in the league. So it was basically like all the guys that, so you have El Hijo de Dr. Wagner Jr. That is the son of Dr. Wagner Jr. He's not Dr. Wagner III, because they don't do that. He's El Hijo del Dr. Wagner Jr. So he is the son of Dr. Wagner Jr. Don't get it twisted. Kaito Kiyomiya, who is incredible looking. Dude's just got fucking style. He's got great gear. He's a badass. And then a tag team of old men who don't like each other, but got put together and won the tag belts. And they have to like, one of them is definitely a heel, but he is tagging with a guy who's not necessarily a heel. But they're like, well, I guess we'll keep doing this as long as we keep winning. And that was fun. And they had an 8-man that went on too long because it was almost 20 minutes, and that was too much. And then your main event. End of the Nightmare, a 6-man tag match. This match was the Great Muda's final match. Great Muda pinned and won because Great Muda finally put to death Hakushi, his longtime rival Hakushi. Hakushi is now destined for hell and will be trapped in hell. That is the storyline that they are going with. Because also Kenji Muto is going to lose to Naito in a month. So Great Muda retires with a victory. So it was Hakushi, Akira, who I don't know as well, but Akira like has been along for a old man, and then a person that studied under the 4 pillars of All Japan, who fucking rules and was the second youngest man at the age of 40-something in the match. Naomichi Marufuji, who I saw face Eddie Kingston when I was in New York, and who fucking kicks ass and is just an unbelievable talented wrestler. And he wore a lot of cool body paint because he was wrestling with dudes who look weird and are spooky, and he is not spooky. So he jumped in to like do something that was like, stylistically important. And they were defeated by the Great Muta, Sting, and Darby Allin. Darby Allin did ride his skateboard down to the ring. He did have the TNT title for AEW with him. Sting came out and people were fucking psyched, and he did the Stinger like yell, and people did it back to him, and that was cool as hell. The audience was really into it. Before the Great Muta came out, there was a surprise. He didn't wrestle. He was just there to say hi to people and be there. And he was in makeup, and he did throw around some nunchucks. If you have watched some of my Tuesday streams where I've watched old All Japan wrestling stuff, you may remember the Great Kabuki, the man who started using the mist, the different colors mists. The Great Kabuki is the Great Muta's dad. For real, in reality, one of the Great Kabuki's sons is the Great Muta. Great Kabuki is 76 years old. He came into the ring. He had to be helped into the ring and out of the ring. And he stood there, and I was really afraid he was going to be at ringside, and thankfully he was not. Because Sting is old. Great Muta is old. Hakushi is old but can still work. Akira is old. So there was a lot of Darby Allin and a lot of Marufuji doing a lot of the work, taking a lot of the bumps, doing some stuff. Anyway, next month there's going to be a huge, amazing card. I'm very excited about it. It will be New Japan, Pro Wrestling Noah, All Japan, Dragon Gate, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling, at least one other DDT. There will be a DDT match. Basically, like, a lot of fucking shit is happening. If there's some people from I don't know. I don't know who else is going to be there, but it's a crazy, giant dream card for Kenji Muto's last match. So that card was ridiculous. That was a long show, but it was fun and wild. Oh, I haven't actually finished this kit. I got to do the horns, but I did want to panel line it, so I'm glad I do that. But we got to put some stickers. Unfortunately, this kit does have a ton of stickers. That is just the unfortunate reality of this thing. It's going to have a lot of stickers. We did the eye stickers. Now we got to do more of the head here. The only other wrestling stuff I want to talk to you about tonight is that WWE put out a press release about WWE 2K23. That's right. In March, WWE 2K23 will come out. It will be $60 on Steam, PlayStation 4, and Xbox One. It will be $70 for PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S. So, the modern gen. I'm glad the PC is $60. Will I buy it immediately? No. I will wait for there to be a deep discount on it. I am still having fun with WWE 2K22. It will mean that when 23 comes out, people will stop making, eventually I will run out of cool shit to add to the game. That happens, right? People will stop making characters for it because they will be developing for the new game. Because a lot of people that do that work don't stick around on the old, which makes sense, understandable. But I'm hoping that there'll be enough good shit on there that I can keep doing streams until 23 comes out. In 23, there will be War Games. And I bet that's broken as shit because, as you may remember, I can't run a Hell in a Cell match because the Hell in a Cell, the CPU characters break out of the cage or get stuck, and then you just never win, never finishes. So I bet that will also happen in War Games, that they will just get stuck, and it will be a bad time. So yeah, I imagine that's going to be worthless. Don't worry, everybody. Cody Rhodes will be in the game. They have announced They can't handle a table that's slightly askew. Yes, Lord Crashton, remember that. Yes, there was a table that like broke, but not because of them. And the way a match ended was because it got eventually just bumped. Like a character just kind of touched the table, and that's how that match finally ended. Cody Rhodes is going to be the game. Cody Rhodes is also going to be the AEW game, which we don't know when that's coming out. Cody Rhodes will be in 2 video games in 2023. I love that they made sure to say that Cody would be in it. It was very funny. Also, John Cena's on the cover because they now put whoever is in the showcase mode, and so we'll be able to play moments from John Cena's career over the years in the showcase mode. GM mode's getting some additions. They're adding more GMs, changing that stuff up a little bit. There's a bunch of other nonsense I don't care about. Cody bruise. Yes, someone will upload a version of Cody Rhodes that is heavily bruised. The pectoral Cody will. I'm sure there will be a version of that you'll be able to download. I bet that might even be in 2K22. Someone just made Cody for that. Probably. I'll have to look. I'll have to look up Cody Rhodes and see if I can find Cody in that. I don't know. But yeah, I'll look forward to seeing what people are making and all that. We'll do another one of those. I don't know if we're going to do another one of those in February, but we'll do another one of those. I should say, my stream tomorrow that I hope people will come check out. I made a terrible decision, everybody. We're going to go back to Lego Builders Journey. Now, you may remember that we streamed Lego Builders Journey, and we got to a part where I got incredibly frustrated because I could not move past it. And then eventually I did move past it, and the solution pissed me off. And then, after this thing that sucked shit and was not fun, they introduced a new mechanic. And I just got mad. Now, that mechanic is not difficult. It actually is pretty easy. You just move your mouse and you're like revving a thing. And it's actually a fine mechanic. But I was just so frustrated and mad at the fact that they were like, you did it. Now here's something new, that I just was like, fuck this shit. I'm going to go back because I don't know if I can beat it in the 2 hours tomorrow, but I want to try. I feel like the pec tear match, I haven't heard a single thing about Cody in WWE. Well, that's because Lashbrook, that's because he hasn't been in WWE. He has been in a long recuperating, but he's in the Royal Rumble. So you'll see him on Saturday, or you'll probably hear more about him because he's coming back. He's coming back for the Royal Rumble. They've been talking about it for about 2 weeks. So Cody was kind of out of sight, out of mind as he healed, but he's back. He has not been, like, he may make an appearance on Raw tonight. I don't know. I wasn't watching Raw. He may make an appearance on SmackDown, but he'll be in the Royal Rumble on Saturday. I look forward to Jeff going through the roster. Yes, Jeff checking out WWE 2K23, going through the roster. That would be fun. All right, let's work on the body of this kit. So, yeah, that's tomorrow. And then next Tuesday, Power Wash Simulator, the Tomb Raider pack. The free Tomb Raider pack, because the game is coming out on PlayStation. It's coming to consoles. And then along with that, there is the Tomb Raider pack that is coming out. And we can wash a bunch of stuff at Lara Croft's mansion, which is sure we can, and sure we will. Pulled out the wrong piece. Going to put that aside. So yeah, since Cody's into dumb tattoos, maybe he should get the pec tear bruise as a tattoo. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if he shows up with a new tattoo. He does like making bad choices, so wouldn't be totally out of character, totally out of left field. If you're like, Pat, what about Persona 4 Golden? You were going to show off some mods in Persona 4 Golden. Now, originally I was going to do that because on this past Thursday, the modern versions of it came out. It came out on Game Pass and came out to current gen consoles. So I was like, oh, that'll be fun. That'll be a fun tie-in. It'll be like, I'm going to play the Steam version, which I have had for a while. I'll get a bunch of mods and just show you, like, hey, if you have the Steam version, you can still do the cool shit. You don't have to worry about, having to get the new version. Well, along with the new versions, they updated the Steam version to 64-bit from 32-bit and broke all the mods. So everyone that made a mod has to port the new mods to the new system. Now, the new system runs fine because they're just using the same system they used for Persona 5 Royale, which came out previously. So they can do that, and that'll work out fine. But people that made mods 3 years ago have to update those mods. And not everyone is going to or feels like doing it immediately. So the mods aren't ready. I'm keeping an eye on it. That'll be hopefully a February stream. I do want to show off the mods on there and talk about them, but not all of them are going to work, including some that I wanted to use. So that's got to wait, unfortunately. Let's build the whole. Yeah, let's build all of this and then we'll panel line it all together. As we work on WarGreymon, our third. I can't believe this is my third Digimon kit. I went from never building a Digimon kit to now I'm working on 3. That's just fun. I like that. Of course, we got one back there. We might, and also every kit I make might end up on the shelves. I don't know. I did start Persona 3 and I'm enjoying watching teenagers shoot themselves in the head to save the world. Lord Crash eats it. It's just a trigger. They're not shooting themselves in the head. They're just getting into the dark brown. They never could explain it away to American people who were mad. I bought a little Digimon blind box, says Arctic Sloth, and got a cute little Patamon. That's cool. Patamon, that's fun. Patamon's cute. That is a fun thing to get. Okay. Let's talk about ways you can support the channel. Hi, everybody. If you are currently a subscriber to the old Bill with Bear, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego to the Scythe, and if you're a Tier 2 subscriber, if you're a Arista fan, he's the only Tier 2 I have, you can throw the blue emote, me as Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan Blue. Becoming a subscriber is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money or through your Prime Gaming token. Those are ways through Twitch. You get cool emotes. You don't see ads, so if you come in to the stream, you don't have to watch 6 minutes of I don't know, that weird ad, the weird TikTok ad where LL Cool J is like, oh, this needs something. And then he watches a TikTok video of someone using a theremin. That's an ad that I had to watch twice this week, and it sucks. And I don't want that for you. So become a subscriber so you don't see ads before my stream. It also helps me. You can do that. You could gift a sub to somebody in the community if you already are a subscriber or you don't want to become one. Lysandus and Aristofan gifted subs this month, which we appreciate very much. Thank you for that, friends. Bits and coins always appreciated. Ironhide the Fourth and Harold did some bits. The bits. We like that. Some cheer. We appreciate that. There are other ways to support what I do here that don't involve Twitch. If you want to support me, but you don't want to give money to the Amazon Corporation, I understand. You could join my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. See if there's a tier that makes sense for you over on patreon.com/PatBear. I just put a request in for people to send me questions because my Patreon gets a Q&A video at the end of every month, and no one else gets that except for them. I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. If you're just joining me, I'm going through my ad reads. We'll get back to model kit building soon. I don't have sponsors or anything. I'm not sponsored by a Gunpla store or a comic shop or anything like that. So I have to promote myself, and I do that in the middle of every stream. I have a YouTube channel. YouTube, you can subscribe to for free. You can become a member, and for $2 a month, you get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. The one that I uploaded that is going to go out to YouTube members tomorrow, and everyone else on Wednesday is fucking really good. This new series, Barely Rehearsed, the best one I have done is the one that is going out. So if you want to see that a day early, $2 a month over on YouTube memberships. Those are all monthly ways to support me, but also you could do a one-time donation through Coffee or Stream Elements or PayPal. You can just directly to PayPal. Everything I make through direct donations, through YouTube, through Patreon, and through Twitch all goes into a fund, and I buy model kits with that money. This kit I purchased with money from that fund because there was a sale on USA Gundam Store around the New Year, and I was like, what is on? Hey, I'll buy a Digimon. That's fun. I'm going to buy myself a digital monster to build. So I bought that. Now, if you don't want to pull from my backlog, which I did, that kit was in the backlog, and instead you want to pick what I built, you could buy something off my Amazon wishlist. The Rising Gundam, which we completed tonight, this kit that we just finished not too long ago, that kit was purchased off my Amazon wishlist by someone who decided to be anonymous about it, which is still really lovely. If you want to buy something on my wish list, it gets priority over the other stuff. I've got Lego sets. I've got model kits. I got inexpensive kits. I got expensive kits. I've got stuff that is dropped in price. I've got stuff that like doesn't right now have a price on it, so I'll have to go and do some get some info on that. Bunch of different kits. Ooh, the high GOG is down in price. Ooh, that's nice. That's down to $29. That's an okay deal. But yeah, there's a bunch of different kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, kits that like have free shipping, kits that don't have free shipping. See if there's something there that you'd like to see me build on stream, and I will be happy to build it. And then also there's some gear at the bottom because there's always types of gear. This, the mat, the green mat also came from my wish list, which I appreciate very much. So consider becoming a supporter there by buying something. I'll shoot a dedicated video on my YouTube about the thing that you purchased off the wish list. That also includes my throne wish list, which has some different stuff, some gift cards, some gear, less model kits on there, but a few things. And then also, if you don't want to go through a wish list, you could always just buy a gift card for USA Gundam Store and then send me a gift card code. You go to USA Gundam Store, buy a gift card, they send you an email with the code, send me a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open while Twitter still exists, or a whisper here on Twitch. That's another way to support what I do, is to go through that. I have a Discord if you want to support me for free. Cool people in that Discord, come check it out. I post build photos, people post stuff they're working on. Sometimes people just post stuff they think that I would be interested in, and they're usually right. A couple videos for you to check out. Let's see. First, let's see. Pat Bear's top 10 anime list. I wrote a list of my top 10 for the year 2022. If you want to know what I loved in anime last year, I wrote a whole list. You can read on my co-host. You could also watch the video version for Pat Bear's Anime Club, where I go through my favorite shows of the year, of last year. You go and watch the video version. I mean, they're the same things, just, different points made. I'm a little more rambly in the video. And then also, hey, the Crunchyroll Anime Awards are happening in March. But the voting ends on the 25th, so I made a voting guide. I will stop talking about it when it's out of relevancy. But right now, you've got a couple more days to go and vote. So actually, this will be the last day I talk about it because the voting will end on Wednesday. So if you haven't watched that video, that's my voting guide. You can go check that out. And then Barely Rehearsed is a video series where I rehearse a piece of comedy that I have written. In this case, the third one that I wrote was me taking a real promo ad for an NFT game and then just changing the language to be honest. It was like an honest trailer, but about a video game if I performed it. And then I performed it as the character of the guy doing the voiceover. That was just like, hey, I wrote my own version of this. Can I try it out? And then I just call it a scam. Call people suckers, that kind of thing. And luckily, didn't get shared on any place that would bother me on Twitter about it. So that's lovely. But yeah, check that out. I think that one's pretty good. I said the next one coming out is my favorite. It'll only be the fourth one, but it'll be the best one of them. All right, I'm going to talk about some manga, and I'm going to talk about some anime after that. So let's get ready for that. Before I talk about some manga and then some anime, I do need to drink some water, so we're going to do that there. And I will dramatically transition back to the overhead right the fuck now. This moved. There we go. Water. It's good. All right, this towel method has seemed to work pretty well. It moves a little bit, but last time it was moving constantly, so we're better than we were there. Okay, so is that this? Yeah, all right. So we're working on this here. I'm going to talk to you about a manga that I have been watching. The manga I've been watching, Hey, this is a rarity. Usually at like 10, 11, 12 chapters into a thing, I'm like, okay, let me tell you what I think about this story, this ongoing manga. I read all of this manga front to back because it's not that many chapters and it's over. So I can give you a review of a completed work, which, like I said, is rare for me to be able to do that. I'm not going to get spoilery about it, but I'll talk about it. It's called The Lady Likes a Nerd Over Princes, and is about two nobles that end up in a pretty committed relationship by the end. Unlikely. What happens when a pretty girl who, she's going to marry somebody at some point, but, whatever. It's not, the biggest deal in the world. What happens when she instantly falls in love with the quote-unquote honor student, the son of, the third son of a frontier noble, low caste noble, who cannot use that much magic. His practical magic skills are not good. But what he does have is lots of knowledge. He's there to be a research student. He's done a lot of research about ways to defend against magic and talismans and all kinds of stuff like that. He has a lot of knowledge. And he saves her life. She could have been in danger. Someone had planted a plant in the garden that would have really messed with her body, and I don't remember if it would have killed her, but it would have definitely messed her up. And our girl is just intrigued by this weird dude, this weird, quiet, studious guy. She is smitten with how down to earth, but also just I don't know, just does his own thing, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be a slow little love story of this weird dude, this nerd who ends up kind of accidentally getting involved with this higher ranked noble, but not top tier noble, and how oh, they're gonna be intertwined, it'll be fine. This is not there is funny moments. This is not a comedy. This is just a romance manga, because almost immediately shit goes weird, because the fucking prince shows up, and she doesn't, because she is smitten with our dude, our nerd. She's cordial, because she's got to be, but she's not falling all over herself to talk to this prince, which he is unaccustomed to, and so he perceives that she is playing hard to get. And that is a common theme in this show, which is the people that are surrounding this prince don't listen to anyone because they have their preconceived notions, the quote-unquote villainous. If this was a different story, the girl that is his fiance candidate, who is going to be rude to our heroine, would be the villainess, and she is rude, but also will not fucking listen, because she just assumes that, oh, well, this girl is scheming and playing hard to get, but she doesn't mean it. And she's no, I don't know how to tell you this. No, I'm not interested in the prince. I'm interested in this dude. And I understand why you wouldn't think that, but that's the truth. But no one wants to believe that shit. So it is constantly the mind games of this shitty prince who is going out of his way to get, does he actually want to be with this girl? Or is he in love with the concept that she does not want to be with him? It takes him, I'll say this, again, I'm not going to get super deep into spoiler territory. Everyone is stupid except for our two main characters, because our guy has to work really hard to blow things over. And most of the time, it's just trying to help his friend. He feels obligated to help her, because if she hadn't gotten involved with him, this wouldn't have happened. None of this would have happened. She's a little atypical. He's weird. His family is great. Her friends are great. It's lovely. I will say this. It is an enjoyable series that I can recommend to you. it's like I said, it's not that many chapters. I think maybe it's 16 chapters. It does end. It just doesn't go on forever. It's there is some action. There's some action, but not that many, not that much, and it's mostly just like kind of fun to see. And there are times where you're just like, fuck this dude, and it gets frustrating. But like, it moves quick enough that like it gets onto the next thing that you'll deal with. So I recommend it. I do recommend that if you're looking for something a little more romancy and a little more like, how do you solve a problem where you have someone with authority who abuses that power, and you have no power to fight back with, because this is not an overpowered main character. He's just a smart guy. And so that is The Lady Likes a Nerd over Princess. It's pretty fucking good, I'll say. I would say if you are looking for a cool manga, check that shit out. You might enjoy it. Let's talk anime. It's time to talk some anime. Got to put the anime button in there. Get those anime. Only 2 shows, like I said. I kind of dropped some of the other stuff that I've been watching. I'm gonna try. Mondays are gonna be where I'm trying stuff. This week, the show I tried was Chillin in My 30s after getting fired from the Demon King's army, which I think I'm gonna keep watching. At least I'm gonna give it a second episode. I'll probably get caught up because I think there's only been 3, so maybe next week I'll talk about 2. But I didn't go super far into it. Let's see, is there anything I need to assemble this? Because I do like, they usually say like, oh, wait till it's all built and then put it all together. But I like building, I like putting stuff together as I go. So we did the head here, in the neck, and then the body, and we can just pop that in there. Yeah. Because we're already doing a lot of work. I'm going to have to put another poll out because I feel like that I'll finish this by the end of Thursday. Like, obviously, we're not finishing it tonight, but I don't think this will take like probably all of Thursday's stream, but it won't take into Saturday's stream. Reminder, friends, before I get into the anime that I want to talk about, just a reminder, my Saturday stream will be at 5 p.m. Eastern till 7 p.m. Eastern. Why, you ask? Well, because that night is the Royal Rumble, and I want to watch the Royal Rumble. I rarely change my stream times for any real-life events. I try to keep my schedule the same because you are all kind enough to make this appointment viewing and to hang out and chat with me and check out what I'm doing. And I appreciate that very much, and I don't like to disrupt your schedule. But I love the fucking Royal Rumble, and I want to watch the whole thing. I don't want to watch it later. I want to watch it with friends, hanging out, eating Dominoes. So I'm doing that shit. So this Saturday, 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. Eastern. And then I'll roll right into the pre-show, which won't have any wrestling in it because they don't really do pre-show that much these days, which is fine. But tomorrow's stream, 9 p.m. as usual. Thursday stream, 9 p.m. Eastern as usual. Just want to put that out there. How long is the entire broadcast? I believe it will be between 2 to 3 hours plus the pre-show. So it starts at 8 p.m. and I believe it'll be till probably between 10:30 and 11 Eastern is my guess. Usually it's like 2.5 hours to 3 hours, depending. I don't know how long it will be. But I'm going to do it earlier because I want to do it 5 to 7 so that I can get my food ordered and then arriving before the Rumble starts. And basically, they usually start with a Rumble and end with a Rumble. So, not always, but often. They might end with Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns, but I'm not confident in that. Anyway, let's build a right arm here. Well, I talked to you about Handyman Saitou in Another World. So, because Handyman Saitou is based, it's not a 4-panel comic, but it is like a short little stories. Like, it's a series of short little tales. So I can't get like super deep into it, but I can tell you like what I thought of moments on here. So this was a bunch of little short stories kind of dealing with the different like quirks, the difference between like his world and because he's from modern Japan. He was a handyman at a big department store, salesman, guy, and now he's like trying to get accustomed to this world and the characters there. Um, let's see, we had there was a lot about how like okay, you got a peaceful kingdom and how like adventuring has kind of like dealt with that a bit, like the politics and all that, like uh, and the idea that like what we need, like idols, like we need like idols, like we need to make like heroes and adventurers that people can look up to and like cheer for, which is funny. There's an assassin and a witch that get introduced, and like they're going through some shenanigans that's like pretty fun. I like the witch. Saitou breaks into a door and meets the elusive dwarven mastersmith, Donban, who's just like, "What the fuck? How did you get in here? No one has the magic to open the door unless I want them to." And he's like, "I picked the lock." He's just like, "Oh shit, okay, hi." And the kingdom's adventuring area is the Great Labyrinth. Saitou later finds a vacuum robot from Earth, so he's like, huh. Starting to get the feeling that like he's not like there are other people that have come through here, and like there's something else going on. And then also he finds a then unexplored part of the dungeon, and that's like, and everyone's fucking psyched, and business is booming for the adventurers because now they've got like everyone's just amped up for that. So like Saitou manages to really help everybody out. But like I said, it's short. It's not short. It's a full length, but like the little chapters are short. It is very viewable, very enjoyable. Okay, so okay, so this is gonna go like this. Hook that in like that, and then pop this down. Ooh, there it goes. Okay, that bend didn't feel good until I adjusted it. So there you go. All right, and put that there, and then put this here. Hell yeah. We have now done some of this arm. And then turn it around. No, just keep it like that. And then fits. Okay. Sorry. Figuring this out. And then we got to do the shoulder. Okay. So that was Handyman, Saitou in Another World. Chillin' in My 30s After Getting Fired from the Demon King's Army is also on Crunchyroll. I'm looking for something on High Dive to put into this spot, and it might be that other romantic comedy, because right now I'm only watching 2 shows on High Dive, and I'd like to add in a third. So we're gonna see if I can find a third that they're showing that I'm interested in. Anyway, Chillin' in My 30s After Getting Fired from the Demon King's Army is a manga that I've read, but I don't remember if I'm up to date with it. It's an easy breezy read. It is an overpowered main character. There's not a lot of the backstory kind of unfolds slowly, so I kind of know I'm ahead of the main character, figuring out what's going on. But like I could still like talk about it anyway. The basic premise is Daryl, our main character, was part of the Demon Lord's army, and he's like the stepson. He's like they said stepson. As far as I can tell, he's really adopted. But anyway, his stepbrother becomes the new Demon Lord, and the first thing he does is fire Daryl, because Daryl doesn't use any magic and hasn't really taken place in combat, and so he's just like, that's the easiest thing. Now, obviously, we can kind of strew that like, oh, he's been jealous of his stepbrother and all this other stuff, and it's like, oh, I'm in charge, haha, I'm the one that's in charge, not you, it's me. But anyway, he gets fired because he can't use magic, and he's just like, and they like destroy his home and kick him out. And he's just like, all right, shit, I didn't expect that. So he kind of wanders around for a long time, and eventually he meets a human woman named Marika, who is fleeing from a monster. And because like he's like in this world, demons and humans look pretty much identical. So he's just like, okay, well, I haven't really used the weapons of a human before, and I don't even know if I'm strong or not. But I don't know, I'm a demon, so I guess I'll fight this monster. And she's just like, oh, holy shit. He's like, oh, wow, okay, I guess I'm actually pretty strong. That's the thing with Daryl. Daryl's incredibly strong, does not know that. Daryl has no clear concept of how strong he is because he worked in logistics and making things happen and being a good dude and a support system, which we'll get into more later. So America's like, hey, come back to my village. Got to thank you there. And he's like, all right. I think I won't tell anyone that I'm a demon. So he's just like, yeah, I got fired. I don't really have anywhere to go. And they're like, oh, how the hell did that happen? It's like, yeah, you know, it's a whole thing. So, yeah, he doesn't reveal, hey, I'm a demon, because he knows that humans are not going to be psyched about that shit. They're not going to be like, oh, cool. And they're like, hey, you know what you should do? Hey, here's the thing, right? This is what we need in this town. You're strong. You killed that monster? Hell yeah. Why don't you live in this village, if you're looking for a job, and become a guild adventurer, and then you can protect the town. And he's just like, I don't know if I want to do that. Like, they're going to find out I'm a monster or a demon. I don't want to do that. But anyway, he tries to, like, it's hard to say no, right? He's just a people pleaser. He's a people pleaser. So he's like, all right, well, they're going to fucking find out, I guess. So he takes this, like, test to get the guild seal. But, hey, he passes the test, everybody. Which he is very fucking surprised about. All right, I need number 5 on this. 5 is this color. Got it. He passes the test, and he's just like, huh. And so, even though everyone, like, a common theme in these shows is like, oh, he's dumb. And maybe they do look similar. They look the same. Maybe you should have realized, hey, maybe the reason why he can't use magic is because he's a human and he was just raised by demons, which is what he thinks. He's like, I think I'm a human? Huh, that's why it didn't trigger that. And I guess I was just raised by demons. And it's like, it's not a leap in logic, but it is smart in a way that I was not expecting this show to be immediately smart. That he's just like, oh, I guess. Because, like, a lot of dumb stuff is going to happen where, like, they realize, like, oh, shit, we need Daryl back. But, like, it takes a long time for them to recognize that instead of immediately. Anyway. So he's just like, okay, I guess he's just strong for a human. And he learns how humans fight, the human magic. So that's the thing, right? Guess what? It's not that he couldn't use magic. It's that he couldn't use demon magic because he's not a fucking demon. But he can use human magic. He can use aura, and he can boost weapons and boost himself. And then, turns out he's very strong. So he was comparing himself this whole time against demons, and that's why he thought he was weak. Turns out he's very strong as a human. He also might be strong against demons now that he knows aura magic. But at the very least, he is not weak like he thought he was. Let's see. He's like, no, I think I'm going to stick around. Also, there's a Gashida. Gashida is another another guild person, another guild adventurer in this small town who's like, probably meant for that. He's like, whatever. This new guy, yeah, sure, he's strong, sure. But then he finds out, oh wow, the monster that Daryl killed, that was going to kill the girl, was a monster that Gashita had been trying to kill for 2 weeks and couldn't do. So that ends with him being like, wait, you might actually be very strong. Shit. So, am I going to keep watching this? I think I'm going to give this a second episode. I believe there are 3 so far, so there'll be 4 by the time I get to the second episode. I think I'm going to keep watching it. It's very light. This is one of those shows that, like, I can't believe it's not an isekai. It's not. It is a kicked out. It isn't the kicked banished. Hey, remember that? How I said that was going to be the new hotness coming out in next this year would be a big year for that. Last year as well. The kicked out of the hero's party, banished by the kingdom. This is banished, kicked out of the Demon King's army. There's only been a few of them so far. More coming. Beast Tamer was one of those. Got kicked out of the hero's party. Slow Life is another one. There was the hero, the one with the hero that got fired. That one is another one of those. Yeah. So banished. It is an overpowered main character. It's a you fucked up situation, but it is not an isekai. So I think I'm going to keep watching it because I like the first episode. I don't know. We haven't done this in a while, friends. I want to hear from you. What are you watching? Are you watching any anime right now? You checking any shows? You watching any TV? You watching the Prestige TV? Are you watching that show on Hulu? On Peacock that is part documentary that might be real or it's scripted and they just got the real guy to play himself and he's not necessarily an actor? That seems weird. That seems very Nathan for you. That Jason Wolner of Human Giant fame, the director of Human Giant and a bunch of other stuff, Borat 2 and a bunch of things, directed. That seems real weird. What are you watching? What are you checking out? What's got you going? I want, if you're playing any video games, that kind of stuff. I want to hear from you about that. I haven't watched the show that it's Dan something or other. I don't even know. The premise is interesting. I'm gonna probably wait for it to be all over because I do have a Peacock login, but I haven't used it in a while. Mr. Bob is trying to watch Enterprise, but season 3 is awful. I have heard that. I have never watched Enterprise, but I have heard something similar to what you were saying. That it definitely wasn't ever great, but then certainly fucking dips in quality. Oh, I gotta put get this claw hand going here. I'm gonna add a sticker to the claw hand. I gotta do that. Got tiny stickers here that we may never even see. Mr. Bob says season 3 is a 9/11 power fantasy. That does not sound great. That feels like why are we doing this? So not great on that. John is watching the Vash the Stampede remake and Gundam Double Zeta. Played some Persona 3 Portable with the female main character path and looking forward to new Fire Emblem. That's right, you got a new Fire Emblem coming out. Happy for my friends that they're getting a new Fire Emblem. That's rad. I hope the new Fire Emblem is what you want from it. I've heard people are very excited about it, and I've heard other people who are less excited about it. And I hope it's great. And I hope you are in the more excited about it camp. I should jump in and just say I have not gone back to Vash the Stampede. I certainly might go back to Vash the Stampede, but right now I am not necessarily interested. There's a lot of anime out there that I'm watching, and going back to that after I did not enjoy the first episode, it's a low priority. But I might. This sticker does not want to stick on well. I'm not going to worry about it. It's just the claw. It's just a white claw on there. So I'm just not going to do the claws. Which is a very small detail, but also you won't really see it over the big claw that's going to go over this anyway, so not going to worry about it. Lord Crashton, we watched That 90s Show on Netflix, which is a fun follow-up to That 70s Show. I do like that they just don't, I didn't watch it, right? I don't watch it. But as far as I know, they just don't fucking reference why one of the main characters just isn't there, because they didn't hire the actor for various important reasons. They didn't hire him, but I from what I understand, they just don't acknowledge it. He didn't die. He's not whatever. They're just like, yeah, whatever. We're not going to mention that character at all, which I think is interesting. They just act like a Hyde no longer exists. Yeah, Hyde never existed. Let's see. You're still reliving Kiryu's journey up to Kiwami 2 right now. Someday I will get on the Yakuza bandwagon. Like a Dragon rules. I would say the most recent one, the Like a Dragon, is a great jumping in point because it is a different kind of vibe. Zero is also a great vibe because it is just, he's using a modern engine to tell like an original story, and the vibe is really good. I think that's a great place to get in there if you want to. But, you can always start with Like a Dragon because that Yakuza Like a Dragon, because then you get the benefit of just like a different character instead of Kiryu. But it is really good. Those games are just real great. I was a little late to the party on that. I think Zero was my first one, and then I've gone through most of the other ones. I haven't played all of them, but I have played most of them. And then, Ishin, like, hey, those games aren't great. The not Yakuza, but all the games that have all the voice actors from Yakuza and the Yakuza engine made by the Yakuza people, but they're not Yakuza games, those games aren't good. It's cool that they're remaking them, but they're not good. The zombie one, the one where like Japan get like the what if, is also not good. So there are 2 Ishin games, and then there's 1 zombie game. And by all reports, they are not fun. But it is kind of fun to have those actors playing different characters in a different setting. But apparently those, maybe they'll be great. Maybe they're going to fucking make them great. But I just remember people friends of mine who cared a lot about that series, importing those games and being bummed the fuck out by them. So I don't know. Aristophane here. Hey, Aristophane. This weekend I played and finished The Case of the Golden Idol, which is a mystery game very much in the vein of the Oberdin. I've heard about that game and also heard it compared to Oberdin. Except it is a 2D and there are individual mysteries. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, I've heard good things about that game. As far as me and video games, I'm playing Hearthstone every day. I'm playing Marvel Snap every couple days. I have been doing some people. Here's the thing. People still make mods for Fallout 4, and so every week or so, I check in on the Nexus Mod Manager to see, hey, what's going on in Fallout 4? And there have been some mods that I liked recently. There's one that kind of changed up some locations that I was excited about and added some stuff, and so I checked that out. But every once in a while, I just like check in with that series and see what people are up to in the world of Fallout 4, because I still really like Fallout 4. So that was good. I was happy I did that. And yeah, I mean, I don't have like a game that I'm like obsessed with right now. As I said, okay, how does this work? It's got to go like that. Right now, why am I? They're like, put this piece in. Okay, like here. Okay, so this got to go in like that. All right, that goes in like that. I did something wrong somewhere around here because maybe I didn't do something wrong. Oh, okay. The arm turns in a way that I wasn't turning it, and I was very confused. The second arm that I do here will be a lot easier because now I have learned as I've put this kit together. Basically, you don't do the whole hand because of the big claws, but it makes it look like the hand, the rest that's hidden by this is the rest of the hand. You just don't build that because you would never see it. Now I get it. That was more complicated than it needed to be on my part, but now I understand what's going on. And then snap that in, and then snap this in. Hell yeah. Cool. WarGreymon fucking looks awesome. WarGreymon's doing its thing. Let's work on the other arm here. We don't have much time left in the stream, but we can at least get some of the other arms started, right? We might as well. I like the radio mods for Fallout 4. Yes, just adding new music. That is very fun. There's just always a lot of cool shit going on. And because I'm this run of Fallout 4, I have like all the cheats on and God mode on. I did the thing that they don't want to let you do. Now, when you meet Father, you're supposed to like accept a bunch of stuff from him or get kicked out. You're supposed to like either be like, I'm just not going to join you. And the game really wants you to join the Institute and then leave the Institute later. But they very much want you to at least start in the Institute and like pretend like you agree with them. But you can't just shoot Father immediately. And you could just shoot Father. But if you do that, you turn the entire Institute against you, and you have to escape. And they make it's supposed to be impossible to do. It's not impossible if you are cheating, because you just don't take any damage, and then it doesn't fucking matter what the game wants. You just made the decision, you're getting out of there, and you're doing that. And the game reacts so weird. It's unbelievable, because it pushes up a bunch of stuff, right? Like, the railroad's just like, we can't help you. Now, because you have defeated the Institute, but you have to go back and defeat other people in the Institute, even though you defeated a bunch of people in the Institute, there should be a fight between, like, the Institute and the railroad and the Brotherhood of Steel. But if you have never met with the Brotherhood of Steel, they exist, but they don't exist. It doesn't matter, because you've never met with the Brotherhood of Steel. So if you haven't met with the Brotherhood of Steel, but you have killed Father and wiped out most of the Institute, the game doesn't know what to do with the fact that there's supposed to be a three-way fight that never happens. So in that three-way fight, a railroad character is supposed to die. But she doesn't die because the fight doesn't happen. But there's dialogue as if she did die. But she's right there. And you can communicate with her, but no one else interacts with her. Because it should be impossible to kill Father at that point. And also, you should have at some point been able to talk. Like, the game is supposed to have a way around the fact that you haven't met with the Brotherhood of Steel. But it's not expecting you to not have met with the Brotherhood of Steel. It's incredible. It is so weird and broken. I have fundamentally broken the game, but it still works. It still gets to the point where I'm going to end things. But yeah, I have never talked to anyone from the Brotherhood of Steel yet. At all. I have never interacted with anyone from that faction. And it's one of the four major factions. And I should have talked to them by now. But I just fucking didn't. So, the game is so fucking confused about what to do with me. It's pretty great. I recommend fundamentally breaking the game. I am so glad that part of the game I liked least you can break so hard. Yes, Mr. Bob. The part where you're like, well, Father really wants me... Father set up this elaborate, weird thing and is a monster. You know, he's a monster by nurture, but he's still a monster. And I guess I have to pretend to like him, but I don't want to do that. So instead, I'm just going to kill him right now. Is that fucked up? Yes. But I'm going to do it. And then the game is just like, hey, we're going to make this so hard that you reset your save because you can't continue this way. And you have to do it another way. And I'm like, no. I refuse to let you bully me into the way you want me to play this game. I'm playing this game broken in the way that I want to break the game. Fuck off. And then, like I said, it's just completely and totally messed up after that. It's very cool how fucking broken it is. But anyway, that can happen with mods. You know. I'm excited for some more gaming stuff. Like I said, I don't have anything on the horizon other than Persona 4 Golden mods. I'm keeping an eye on the mod scene there. When there's enough good mods and they're working right, I will do a stream of that. But I don't have any like games that I'm looking forward to picking up right now. Unfortunately, I do want to have something in my back pocket, but I don't have anything right now. John, I don't think I'm going to be using that Donkey Kong music mod. Now, maybe it will get updated and I'll be able to use that Donkey Kong music mod. But, like, I don't think I'm going to be doing it because the music in Persona 4 Golden rules. Like, I don't even know. Like, obviously, it's funny to do that, but I don't know why someone would actually go ahead and do that. Like, I don't know why someone would be like, You know what this needs? This needs a mod. We got a mod in other music for Persona. Like, nah. Persona just fucking rules. Anyway, we're going to call it quits here for tonight. We got some good progress done on WarGreymon. I think we're going to finish WarGreymon by the end of Thursday's stream. What this needs is better music. No, so it was probably just a joke, yeah. Oh, yeah, there's a demo out for the new SteamWorld game. And there's like a bunch of new SteamWorld games coming out. Anyway, we'll probably finish. If we don't finish this on Thursday, we'll finish it on Saturday. I'm going to do another poll for my patrons to figure out what I build after this. Because I don't know what I'm going to build next. But I got stuff in my backlog like right over there to look at. I'll take a photo of this after I'm done here. But we're going to raid, because that is how we end every stream. We end every single stream with a raid. We'll go find somebody doing cool shit out there that we want to go give a little love to. We'll figure out. Yeah, we always end with a raid, as John says. Because I don't know who's streaming right now. Now, it's a Monday, but our friend Mary, we normally raid Mary on Mondays because Mary streams on Mondays, and it's the only day of the week she streams. But Mary is visiting her mom in Florida. So as far as I know, she is not streaming tonight. So we have to raid somebody else on a Monday. And I don't know who that's going to be. We could do that. Mary said she's not streaming since she's still in Florida. That makes sense on question. I assumed she wasn't going to be streaming because of that very thing. Let me check this person. I forgot this person even streamed. And I don't know. I want to check in because they don't have a lot of people watching. It looks like they just started streaming tonight. Or not in general, but this stream. So I'm going to wait for this ad to read and see. Sometimes they don't do a mic or camera. And that is, I don't really like rating people that just play something without like, if you don't want to have a camera on, don't have a camera on. But I do like to have at least the mic on. So I want to see what they're doing. So let's see here. Got a couple more seconds to see. Had to watch an ad because I don't subscribe. Okay. All right, that we're not doing that. Sorry, everybody. I'm like, this is not helpful what I'm doing here. All right, we're gonna raid Voidburger. Voidburger and partner are playing Final Fantasy VII for the PS1, where partner is very knowledgeable and Voidburger is not. But let's raid Voidburger. Voidburger is very nice. It'll be a fun to go and raid her and give some support to Jess because Jess rules. Feel free to come along on this raid. I would love to have you. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Thanks for joining me here on a Chill Monday stream. That was very kind of you. I'll be back on tomorrow on Tuesday, banging my head against Lego Builder's Journey. We'll try to fucking beat that game. I don't fucking know. Thanks so much for hanging out. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.